I was sure she was not going to like the film. So I don't know why you would think it's Courtney's point of view. I looked at the footage. Okay. It's my point of view. Embraced by her daughter, she had nothing to do with it. She gave me the rights to the material, and that was it. And she walked away and didn't see the film until it was finished. 3 days before we premiered it at Sundance. So unless you want to look me in the fucking eye and tell me that this is Courtney's point of view, it's not. I came into it totally. I mean, I saw Kurt play a couple times, and I was a casual fan, but I just went and looked through the materials, and this is what I arrived at.
I thought it was awesome. You had no idea. You came from a totally different perspective, and whoever's saying anything in this theater.
Well, I'm so glad.
But you did an awesome job.
Thank you, man. You could go make your own film, man, and make your point of view, but this is just my experience of the materials. Thank you, Brett.
Well, I have a question about
I knew this was going to be an interesting one, man. And in fact, I was telling, I think we had a thing like we weren't supposed to take questions, like to protect me, but fuck that. Anyone want to ask a question, just ask a question. I mean, I think you're well informed to run this, but I'm more than happy to answer anyone's questions.
whatever you want.
I'm pretty confident in the point of view in this film, and it drives me insane. Yeah, please.
Your experience with Kurt's mom. In the beginning, she seemed a little disingenuous at first, but then later became more sympathetic. How do you feel about his family and their role now in his legacy?
I'd first like to say something about Don Cobain and Jenny Cobain, and for me, the courage they had to. Are we gonna go party now? Yeah, because let me just say one thing. If we have to wrap up, Jacob.
All good.
Is that
Ask more questions, Jay.
I know this can get a little heavy and all that, but there's so much Kurt in that film that's worth celebrating and having a drink and hanging out with Jacob at the P&P. But Jacob, I think they want you to ask a question. I'm long-winded, sorry.
I'm kind of fine wrapping up, and I'm sure we'll have some more one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, if anyone wants this, we're going to go over to your show, right? Well, the goal of usually when I make a film is try to be as intimate as possible with my subjects. So I think, when you say, did I need to make it so personal? Oh, did I intend? No, there was no intention. The intention was there was going to be some art, and I was going to make like a movie like Pink Floyd The Wall. Like I thought it was going to be some fun, crazy, silly animation film. This is 7 years ago or 8 years ago.
Did seeing all of that material, that they had,
This is what I came back with.
It, right?
Yeah, everything changed, and everything changed from meeting Francis.
I think it's pretty amazing that Kurt, clearly used his journals, recording things, his, creative expression as this sounding board. I just wonder if there's any other artists out there that, of his stature that you can see, their inner thoughts so clearly. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know how to make another movie, because to me everything would be a step, disappointing from here. And I think that there's, things happen for a reason, and I feel like the work I was doing with nonfiction really prepared me in the best way possible to execute this film. And all of the craftsmen on this film, these were like top-level craftspeople. The animation was all real animation, done 6,000 drawings, 58 paintings, which I want to tell you, I want to donate some of them to EMP, if you'll have them. and we should talk about getting you all the archives. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try to sort that out. We are doing something, but anyways. Anyways, yeah. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Ask you a question.
Okay.
So you archived the, the exhibit, and which a lot of us have been through, and it's brilliant. But after seeing this movie, how do you feel about what you've done and what you've just seen, and meshing them together, and possibly even changing the exhibit a bit?
Well, I think the exhibit there was a completely different thrust for the exhibit. The exhibit was specifically trying to be about Nirvana and the scene in which Nirvana came up in, and I was trying to very consciously not have it be an exhibit solely about Kurt. I kind of purposely stayed away from a lot of the stuff that we saw up here. One, I didn't have access to a lot of it, but I think that Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, that's a subject that you can take in a million different ways, and so I think, the more opportunity, the more material, the more time, we can always do something cool.
Brett, what was one of the most inspiring pieces of art that you found from Kurt?
Montage of Heck, his mixtape. When I heard that, man, I felt like a blueprint to make the movie. I felt like more than any song. It felt like such a pure form of expression, and it felt like it represented so many different sides of him. And I didn't know anything about it. I put it on in the storage facility. It's Montage of Heck, what's this? And I was surrounded by all of his art. All the paintings were up around the walls, and all of his earthly possessions were all around me. And here's this one little cassette, and it just felt like that was the sound design for the film, and that was the emotional, I felt like the romanticism and the angst, and it was all wrapped into that. And so that was to me the most inspiring piece that we unearthed.
And when you heard,
I did, and the thing was, it was an interesting situation because this isn't, and we didn't interview Chad. I just wanted, ultimately, I thought Chris should be the one person who sort of, it wasn't a story about Nirvana, right? And so I just thought I needed one person, but I know that it was almost going to be a distraction if Dave wasn't in the film. So I asked management to do an interview, but Dave was doing Sonic Highways, and he was really busy, and that was fine. It was all good, and I logged picture on the film, and this movie that you're seeing, and I was very happy with it, and I felt it was very intimate. And if there's 5 people who should talk about Kurt, it's these 5 people. And then Dave finished his promotional stuff for the show, and he was available, but I had already finished the movie. And so we did an interview, and he was fantastic, and he was awesome, but it was 2 weeks before the premiere. And I couldn't undo, open up a hole. It was just impossible, man. And I just felt like we had said what we needed to say about Kurt, and to just let it go. We're gonna go talk at the EMP at Jacob's exhibit, right? I gotta thank you, dude, real quick. I'd love to thank all of you for being here, and EMP for hooking us up with that amazing interview.
Oh, yeah?
The incredible interview, Kurt. Thank you very much. Real honor to show the film to you. Thank you.